The shuttle, an engineering marvel that debuted in the 1980s, inspiring kids to become astronauts and adults to wonder just how far space travel would go. The shuttle orbiter would serve as part shipping container, space taxi, home away from home, and laboratory. Boeing Heritage Company, Rockwell International, began work on the first orbiter in the 1970s. From space, the orbiter could re-enter the atmosphere and land like an airplane. Only this space plane could flex some serious muscle. It could carry 55,000 pounds of cargo. That's like carrying the weight of 9 elephants. Most importantly, it was reusable, and talk about use. Between 1981 and 2011, the shuttle flew more than 130 successful missions. 37 of those missions docked with the world's orbital outpost, the International Space Station. Ronald Reagan challenged NASA to make visions of a permanently crewed station a reality. And Boeing had just the right vehicle in mind to make that a reality. Check out this early model from the Boeing archives showing how the space shuttle would dock, only after it delivered the parts and its crew built the main structure of the space station. It would take 5 space agencies, 15 countries, and 10 years to construct. From 1998 on, nearly every shuttle flight hauled space station parts, the first U.S. component, the Unity module, and the largest load, 4 solar array structures. After 30 years of service with cheers and tears along the way, the shuttle landed for the last time in 2011. So where might today's future astronauts go? Maybe Mars or beyond?
Being a successful entrepreneur isn't easy, but sometimes all it takes is just one great idea. Bill Boeing's first great idea wasn't airplanes. He had set out to make his fortune in the timber business. But while operating his Greenwood Timber Company, Boeing became interested in aviation. And after finally hitching a flight, Boeing immediately decided he could build a better airplane and use his own timber doing it. What would happen next officially started on July 15, 1916. From the Boeing archives, the original Articles of Incorporation gave birth to Pacific Aero Products, the startup that would eventually become the Boeing Company. The founders, Bill Boeing, his cousin Edward Gott, and chief engineer James Foley, created their little Seattle company to, as the articles lay out, engage in general manufacturing business for goods, wares, and merchandise of every kind and in any way used in the construction or operation of aeroplanes. And they meant wares of every kind and used in any way. In addition to the stated goals of building and selling airplanes, establishing a flight school, and developing aerial navigation systems, the articles gave runway to buy and sell steamboats and other ships, operate railways and utilities, improve lands and develop resources. That foresight to include non-aviation industries would serve Boeing well. When defense contracts dried up after the First World War, Boeing kept his employees busy building furniture, sea sleds, and fixtures for a corset company. The airplane side of the business eventually returned to profitability, and from the seedling of that one great idea grew a century of aviation and aerospace innovations.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a Boeing? Back to the drawing board. Finding the right logo that wasn't just a literal representation of its name, get it, Boeing, took some time. So in 1947, two Boeing artists set out to design a durable trademark capable of lasting for years to come. Artists Keith Kinsman and Bob Lally put together a 10-page proposal for creating a new logo that melded visibility, style, and color. Born of the emerging jet era, the Stratotype font, Boeing's swept-wing Stratojet and luxurious Stratocruiser inspired the look, as seen in these sketches from the Boeing archives. The unique typeface featured squared-off letters that resembled airplane windows. The angled letters gave an enduring sense of motion. The Stratotype alphabet and numbers were used in airplane identifiers, such as the name of the Model 377 Stratocruiser, which had its first flight in 1947. Stratotype was soon found on fuselages, in advertisements, and on ashtrays. The Boeing Stratotype logo flew for more than 50 years. Then, in 1997, Boeing merged with longtime competitor McDonnell Douglas. The classic Boeing Stratotype logo was updated and combined with a streamlined version of the McDonnell Douglas symbol, uniting the companies and their commercial, defense, and space businesses. Gone is the Boeing, but the name has stayed the same. From the thresholds of airplanes to the hulls of spacecraft, the Stratotype logo continues to portray the essence of the Boeing company in any language.
Within the Boeing archives are faces of the many Rosies of Boeing and its heritage companies, who helped build the nation's arsenal of democracy. World War II. Men enlisted to head overseas. Women stepped up on the home front. Before the 1940s, many women had never worked outside the home. Boeing encouraged homemakers to become plane makers. The company placed recruiting advertisements in newspapers, like these ads from the Boeing archives. In glass fronts at the company's downtown Seattle office, women demonstrated real factory work to passers-by. Boeing also teamed up with Hollywood designer Muriel King to create a line of safe, functional, and fashionable work attire called Fortress Fashions, a nod to Boeing's B-17 Flying Fortress. The tactics worked, and women got to work. Their efforts helped to boost production at Boeing. Within a span of 2 years, the company went from rolling out 60 aircraft per month to an astonishing 362. They operated heavy machinery, working 12-hour shifts, often 7 days a week, as shown in this 1944 employee handbook. Boeing helped women find housing, daycare, and rationing assistance. The company provided all a steady paycheck at a pay rate equal to men. Rosies working on Boeing bombers started at 62 cents an hour. By war's end, they were making $1.10 or more. The Flying Fortress, the Mustang, and the Super Fortress. Women helped build the planes that helped win the war. Rosie the Riveter. She's more than just an icon. She symbolized the contributions of women who entered the workforce and paved the way for cultural change.
This symbol on this hat represents amazing powers. the power to lift 242,000 pounds, the power to fly at 600 miles an hour, the power to span the globe, the power of teamwork. This lumberjack is the hallmark of The Incredibles, a team of 50,000 men and women who made the Queen of the Skies reality. As the jet age boomed in the 1960s, bigger, farther, and faster were goals for aircraft builders to meet growing customer needs. While Boeing and Douglas had stretched and enhanced their flagship planes, Boeing chairman Bill Allen decided to build something bigger, much, much bigger. The result of looking at several design options was the 747 with its unique upper deck hump. But to turn the design into a plane, Allen turned to the team's 747 program manager Malcolm Stamper would dub The Incredibles. Starting in September 1967, working from 75,000 drawings in the world's largest building, it took just 16 months to have the 747 ready for its first flight. That came on February 9th, 1969. To celebrate their achievement, the team presented Allen with the hat that sits proudly in Boeing's archives. What has followed first flight is nearly 5 decades of ever more capable 747s, possibly the most recognizable plane on Earth, and today's 747-8. And it's all thanks to those superheroes of Boeing, the Incredibles.